Is chiropractic safe for babies? And more importantly, why would you want to adjust a baby? Coming right up. Hey, I'm Dr. Ekberg with Wellness for Life, and if you'd like to truly master health by understanding how the body really works, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss anything. So a lot of people have misconceptions about chiropractic, and especially when it comes to adjusting babies. So let's try to answer those questions. First of all, chiropractic is perfectly safe for babies. But more importantly, why would you want to adjust a baby, and what's the mechanisms involved? So first of all, the body has three different functional systems. It has a passive system with the bones. Bones are not supposed to do anything. They're supposed to show up and don't break, and then they have done their job. But if a bone is misaligned, or if a bone is not moving properly, if it's stuck, it is because a muscle is holding it there. So bones are passive, it needs something to act on them. So muscles move the bones, but muscles don't make decisions. The brain, which is the regulating system, makes the decisions for the muscles. So if we have a misalignment, if we have a bone that's not moving the way it's supposed to, then it is a brain problem. And the way we want to think about that is it's not a physical tissue problem in the brain, it is a software problem. It's a misunderstanding, it's a communication problem. The brain isn't quite sure what to do. It's not sure what the world looks like, and it's not sure what to tell the muscles, and as a result, the bone isn't where it's supposed to be. So in the body, the brain controls absolutely everything. It controls muscle tone, it controls posture, bone joint position. It also controls pH and digestion and production of enzymes and growth and healing. And it does all of this based on feedback. The brain can only control things based on feedback from receptors, because the brain doesn't actually see anything on its own. It's never seen or heard or touched or felt anything. All the brain knows is whatever signals are coming back from receptors in the form of feedback. So I heard someone say that, oh, you shouldn't adjust babies, they don't even have bones yet. Well, actually they do. They do have bones. They're not quite as calcified as they're going to become later, but they certainly have bones. But more importantly, they have muscles, and they have a brain, and they depend on feedback just as much as any other nervous system. So then we want to start understanding also that the brain works with signals. We want to know what kind of things can interfere with the signal, because a baby isn't up and moving much yet, so it doesn't have a history of trauma and physical injury and things that can interfere from a traumatic standpoint. But there are chemical and structural and emotional aspects of the human body and the nervous system. Chemical, structure, and emotion, they all generate signals, and they all have the potential to interfere with signals. So when we're talking about this feedback, it can be distorted and interfered by chemical, structural, and emotional factors. And a baby certainly has those. Not only is it born with all of those, but it's experienced most of that during its time in utero as well. So chiropractic is certainly safe. In our office, we use instrument adjusting. We use very, very gentle pressure. And on an infant, we might even put a finger in between our little tapping instrument. We can also use an activator, and we can just use a gentle finger pressure if we wanted to do that, if we wanted to do a manual. So we just adjust the pressure to the size of the patient. But the key to understand is that it's the nervous system that we're working with. It is through receptors we give the brain better feedback so that the brain has more control, and a baby has chemical and structural and emotional influences just as much as any larger person. In our office, we welcome and we work with very small infants. We've had several that we have adjusted in their first week of life. And the sooner you start, the sooner you can keep the nervous system from developing bad habits. So if you're born with an imbalance and it doesn't get addressed, then to a certain extent the body can compensate, but it's always going to use up more energy. It's going to expend resources to maintain that compensation, whereas we can make it run cleaner if we address that. And the sooner we do it, the quicker it resolves. Babies respond amazingly fast compared to adults. So I hope you enjoyed that and that you learned something. I would encourage you to share this with as many people as you can, especially new parents and grandparents or anyone else who is involved with kids and with babies, so that they can understand how to best influence that child. If you enjoy this content, please make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification so that we can keep this content coming your way. And as always, thanks for listening.